Well, hello, I'm Mark. I'm a single elderly gay man living in rural Shropshire. I choose to lead a very private life, but I love living here in the countryside. It's always felt like my little retreat from the world. I had an accident at home recently and it made me aware that I'm getting older. I'm feeling less confident about coping on my own. I'm worried about the stairs, managing the garden and being stuck out here on my own. I do drive, but feel perhaps I should think about other options. Maybe living where I don't need a car anymore. They're so expensive. I own my own home, so it's not just a question of packing up and moving. Even if I knew where I wanted to go, I'm going to need some help with getting organised, the move itself, and to be honest, with a few other things as well.
So Mark doesn't actually use a computer. Where might he go to find out about what his options are?
I think libraries are one of those places that a lot of people go to search for help, even if they not necessarily know what they're looking for. We have our Shropshire advice line, that's free of charge, anybody can ring. We can also arrange the face-to-face appointment for him, so he can either travel to one of our offices of outreaches and speak to a caseworker, or we can obviously signpost him, whether it would be to Shropshire Council, who might be better suited to help.
We've got a call centre called First Point of Contact. They're usually abbreviated to FPOC. So they are our basically call centre. So any question that you've got to ask that needs to go to the council, you'll ring them.
So one of the things that I think is really important is that we as organisations make sure that people are really comfortable, because having strangers in your house, particularly as someone who's experienced a lot of homophobia, he's got his books, his gay videos, things around. He wants to know that as an organisation he can trust you and feel comfortable. And I think that is a big issue for a lot of older LGBT people, is having people come into your homes. And I think on that basis a lot of people don't seek the support.
Yeah, and I think that's a really valid point, because as part of the training that our staff had from SAND, part of the session was to look at the Wrekin Housing Group's website, and actually we've got work to do, and it's part of our action plan for the Covenant, because if you look at that, some of the imagery that's used, the wording's not too bad, but the images that are used, it's very heterosexual.
I think same for Shropshire Council as well. I think we've got a lot of work to do, and I think that would be really well directed at our First Point of Contact centre.
I think the importance of not one size fits all, that we are all individuals and we have our individual experiences and stories, and because of those experiences who made us, this is who we are, and there are certain if it's trauma of homophobic abuse that will affect us in the future and the way we will respond to services. And so just the importance of those services to be able to adapt and really notice and see the person in there, not a patient, not just somebody who just came here for some information, but really the person that's there who had their life, their experience, and try to just be as empathetic and as flexible as we can.
I just wanted to ask that last bullet point.
Yes.
I can imagine that.
Yes.
So just that whole notion of moving is always really difficult, isn't it? But in the situation that Mark is in, that must be quite frightening to think, who can I ask for help, and what sort of help might they be able to offer?
We all know moving house is the most stressful thing anyway, but for Mark it would be even a lot more. So we would be looking at seeing, whether he could stay at home. A lot of people don't realise that, you can turn your house into a bungalow.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that come to Shropshire Council wanting support adult services think that they need to move house in order for their needs to be met, whatever those needs are. and actually are quite surprised to know that there are grants available for people at home for their house to be adapted. Might not even need to be anything significant. It could be a stair lift.
But actually, OT coming in and maybe putting things in place to help him to cope, to live, to feel confident, and then be in a better place, and then maybe still decide, do you know what, I don't want to be ringing robots on the phone and I don't want to be worried, but then in a better place to then go and visit the different options rather than moving in a crisis.
Yeah.
Because none of us would want to have to move within 4, you know, if somebody said to me, you've got to move, right, where are you going to go? You've got to be out in 4 weeks. You know, straight away. But if, you know, if you've got 6 months where you can actually do things in a planned way, and so sometimes, you know, these services that come in, it's not about the ultimate thing of you're going to have to stay in your home, but it's just helping people be in a better place to make the best choices.